Morishige turns on the camera early in the morning at his desk, the cracks of sunlight from his blinds illuminating the man without his hat on, wearing a t-shirt and a robe as he puts his glasses on.
A day in my life, Miss Kanna, begins as early as my sister's does. She gets the call early in the morning, and Patty comes along to pick her up. I'm thankful he's the one that knows how to drive between us. But with her blaring alarm in the mornings, I can hardly go back to bed. So instead, I check my professional email to see if I have any new patrons interested in my work.
A computer screen, as if on cue, lights up his face and he rubs his eyes tiredly before chuckling.
Typically, I sort through which ones I'll take on based on how much of a concept they already have in mind. Deadline, then the rest of the pieces follow suit. I don't particularly care about the pricing anymore. As long as it's reasonable for the amount of fabric used, I'll do any commission. I love what I do.
Morishige picks up the camera, focusing it until it focuses on the words, Inbox 99 plus.
It's going to be a long day.
He reaches for the camera and the video cuts out, picking back up with Morishige in a tweed suit and ivy cap. He is sitting on a couch beside a brunette who is writing in a journal. Morishige leans into the man and glances briefly up at him. The brunette looks towards him and gives a brief smile before scribbling down something and closing the journal.
Miss Kanna, you probably already know him, but this is Patty from the other second-year class.
Never a moment's rest with your anarchic bunch. I suspect I'm not as infamous as your implications suggest.
Well, I suspect otherwise. Her copy of Sentimental Musings Far From Home was peeking out of her bag last week.
Snooping through your professor's personal belongings?
Only that can be seen at a glance from an open satchel, perhaps.
Miss Kanna, you're giving way to rebellion, and it truly must be stopped, lest my love turn lawless.
Oh, go back to your writing, you.
The two laugh, then Patty gently kisses the side of Morishige's head before the two settle into another peaceful moment where the former continues to write in his journal and the latter puts the camera down on the coffee table, giving more view to the old-fashioned furnishings of the living room. After a pause, Patty raises an eyebrow, not lifting his gaze from his notebook.
Am I to be a spectacle now?
Only if you're making yourself one. It's a project, darling.
You aggrandize me. Am I to be sculpted in marble and put on display?
Patty playfully leans onto Morishige, who takes off his hat and chuckles. As Patty reaches to pick up the hat and place it on his own head, Morishige picks up the poet's journal and slides away to read it.
Space is the coldest comfort I know. When I feel dust of the sands of time seeping into my veins to remind me of how vulnerable I am, I look to the stars and...
If you're going to read it aloud, do it justice.
Are you all right with me reading it out to Miss Kanna?
As it so happens, that's my project for Mr. Hikaru's class. Have at it.
Space is the coldest comfort I know. When I feel dust of the sands of time seeping into my veins to remind me how vulnerable I am, I look to the stars, and I search for an answer. I wonder what it would be like to be in the vacuum of space, devoid of these worries and these crystalline fractures of my own emotions.
Looking at glass houses for my own abode, I forget to read the fine print telling me I'm signing a long-term contract with myself.
One day, I'll shatter myself, and I'll break through to the stars.
Too much?
Not at all. In fact...
Morishige gets up from the couch and walks off, leaving Patty confused as he looks toward the video camera and hesitates. He reaches out to cut it off, but Morishige promptly returns with an extravagant hat in hand. It appears as if one top hat is placed askew atop the other, with miniature books and papers lining the rim. Where a feather is typically placed upon a hat, instead it is replaced with a model ink pot and a fountain pen. Morishige takes his own ivy cap off Patty's head and places the new top hat on his head instead.
My latest commission.
I didn't patronize you as of late.
Not you, no.
Michi.
Precisely.
If it's not one heart I've stolen, it's two I've managed to enrapture. Give her my thanks.
You'll see her tonight. You're coming over for dinner, aren't you?
Seeing as I have to play chauffeur to you both, I suppose a home-cooked meal could inspire me. Now, get on with your talent pageantry for Miss Kanna, so I can move on.
Oh!
Morishige picks up the camera and chuckles, revealing a mess of mannequin heads on different stands, with abstract and avant-garde hats being workshopped in the background.
I don't usually have a lot to talk about for my talent, Miss Kanna. So, well, I suppose this is it. Procrastination and bursts of inspiration come in like waves, so maybe I'll have a better showcase for you next time.
Like the tide of the mind, ever flowing between a thoughtful man and a careless fool.
Hey!